Right away, let's go. Date night news. Should I call it date night news? Let's just get right into reincarnation. That's what we're talking about. I take days off where I don't want to watch all the doom and gloom going on, and I sit with my wife and we talk about all sorts of weird stuff, and that's what you're getting to see here. I don't even know what we should call it, really.
I don't know either, because it's always like going to change too.
I want to call it weird stuff.
It is, yeah.
You know, because
I like your day off.
Yeah, because it like opens things up. So we're basically talking about reincarnation today. I know it's not World Economic Forum or you know what's going on in France or you know how horrible BlackRock is, but it's just I just want to relax today. Okay, guys, you know, semi-relax because I'm gonna put out a piece of content. Let's get into it. What's going on? Reincarnation.
Yeah. Do you believe in reincarnation?
And this is my wife.
Hi.
This is her.
Mrs. Coach Colin.
Some people were like, why can't I see her? Because she doesn't want to be seen. She has to be in the background. And she's one of my head researchers. I can't have anything happen to her.
Oh,
whatsoever.
no.
Yeah. It's true. I wouldn't show any of my other researchers, right? I've asked them if they want to be on camera. They're like, nah.
No, they don't.
So, yeah. It'll be soon. Soon I'll find someone else that wants to be on camera. Slowly.
Do people actually say that?
Yeah. The
really?
researchers? Yeah, they don't want to be on camera.
No, I mean, why can't we see her?
Yeah, of course. A bunch of people.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. But basically, she's like Jamie. You ever, Joe Rogan? Got Joe Rogan over here? She's my Jamie.
Yeah.
That's it. But she's a lady. Just to be clear. All right, reincarnation. Do I believe in it? Yes. 100%. Actually, no. I'll say 70%.
Yeah, I don't know about that because it's like there's so many stories that are just too coincidental. It's like that match up with other things. Mm-hmm. And it's just like it's one of those like folklore type things that is just it's in so many religions, and it's such like a common kind of phenomenon that everybody knows about for it not to be real. It's
very common in like when you said other religions, they're very like, oh yeah, that just happened, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like here in the West, that's just not like you got to prove that. Like you can't just like whereas over there it's just like they might even say it. Oh, he's acting like this person. I think he's the reincarnation of so and so.
Yeah, well, even in Hinduism, they don't eat beef because they believe the spirits of their ancestors can reincarnate into cattle.
But not into like pigs or anything
I guess not.
That they eat?
I don't know. Sometimes they're vegetarian, but
see,
but they even like still do that. So it's not like it's like 1,000 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very odd when it comes to the religions and the reincarnation and stuff. Like I believe, but also I'm from the West, so you're gonna have to prove it. I want proof.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if my kid comes to me, I'm not just gonna believe them. You're gonna have to show me something.
Yeah. That'd be so creepy still. Like, regardless of proof or not, it would freak me out.
I wonder when it comes to that, like back to the World Economic Forum, because I always bring them up in some way. Imagine somebody getting reincarnated into or Klaus getting reincarnated. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
That's
like you have a kid and he's like
yeah, and he's like, I'm a young global leader.
Oh my God.
Talking. You're just like, oh, what do I do with this guy?
Yeah.
I gotta chuck him.
But it seems like all of the stories that I've seen are from like very young children.
Yeah, of course.
And they don't like continue those stories into even like later childhood. Like I think the oldest one that I saw was like 4.
Yeah, but I guess some of them forget, but for the most part, they maybe they don't ask about it anymore. But
yeah, true.
And it's not like you're just gonna start living as that person.
Yeah.
Once it's like a past thing.
Yeah, and then it's like most people don't have a lot of early childhood memories to begin with. Like it seems like there's some kind of brain reset almost. I have to look into that and see if that's like any kind of scientific thing.
A brain reset?
Not really a brain reset, but some reason that we don't have early childhood memories.
Oh, that's because the memories are just forming. Like, I mean, some people do. Like, I have very early childhood memories.
Yeah.
I have childhood memories from like I was 4. I told you, like potty training, I remember.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully that was younger than 4.
Yeah. No, like I remember things from like that time, 4 years old, 5 years old. I remember being 5. Like I know it was my 6th birthday. Like,
oh, that's cute.
I remember all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just don't remember.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember anything from like my teenage life really, because I was always high. But before that, I remember all sorts of stuff.
I don't remember very much. But anyway, I think something like there has to be some kind of link to why these very young kids are the ones experiencing like reincarnation and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, who else would do? Like, I mean, you're not gonna keep talking about it. Like,
yeah,
your parents will. You tell your parents when you're a kid, you're not gonna really keep. Again, you're not gonna relive it as you're 30.
Yeah,
like I'm this guy.
But then I wonder too.
But
like
some people do. Steven Seagal is said to be a reincarnation of some like religious figure.
And he says that.
He says it, and they recognize it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, and he's like very. He's very into martial arts. He has the same like demeanor. I want to say the same demeanor as an Asian person, but like it's like he came up in that culture. Like he's so much in touch with that culture that you could believe it. But then also he made a really big donation to their temple. So I don't know. Like he donated a lot of money, and then they're like, "You must be."
Oh, okay.
So, who knows?
Meanwhile, they're like just giggling to themselves.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, like, thanks, man. Yeah. Like we'll go along with that. That's fine.
What do you got in terms of information? She's the information on the show, and I used to just get high and watch videos, but I don't get high anymore, so I just kind of roll with the punches. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, do you want to just get into the stories?
Story, whatever you have first on your list. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a little boy named Sam who was almost 2 years old when he told his dad, "When I was your age, I changed your diaper." And his parents asked him how he came back, like what he was talking about. And he said, "I just went whoosh and came out the portal." So Sam believed he was his own grandfather who had died recently of a brain hemorrhage. And then when asked if he remembered how he died, Sam just jerked his head back and slapped the top of his head as if he were in pain.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. How creepy would that be if you're changing your baby's diaper and he looks at you and says, "When I was your age, I changed your diaper."
That'd be weird.
Right?
That'd be weird.
Like, that's not like quite weird enough to be like jump to reincarnation. But the slapping the head and jerking back when his grandpa died of a brain hemorrhage, that's pretty weird too.
Just knowing it is very odd.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he knows it. Ooh, let me just go like that. There we go. Yeah, it's very odd. Very, very odd.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know when it comes to reincarnation. Here's what I would like to think. That, there's a video. You guys could look it up. There's a video called The Egg. And it's about this being that's like a human being. And he dies, and he's talking with who you would think is God. And in their conversation, he's trying to figure out, like, what's going on. And he's like, where am I? Like, what is all this? And then the God starts to explain how, your life that you've lived, you're living all of these lives on Earth. All of these are you. And you keep doing this until you've learned enough, until you become like me. So basically, he is a god, but he's like a god in training. And throughout this training is just him living billions of lives.
Wow.
Until he learns everything. And it's a very odd video. Look it up. Crazy. It's called The Egg. It's very weird.
The Egg.
I don't know if I'll get a copyright restriction on there, so I'm not gonna look it up myself. But it's a really cool video.
Huh.
And I like to think of stuff like that when I think of reincarnation. I don't like to think of just like weird kids. It's like maybe you have lived a bunch of lives, and maybe it's not always an eerie thing. Maybe it's just this thing that happens with all of us. Just like, being born. Like we're all born, we all die. Maybe it's just another one of those things that is going to happen to all of us.
Yeah.
You just get reincarnated. And it's not a sad thing because you forget that life. And it's not even really a cool thing because you get another life. It's just something that happens and is happening all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me once about a theory that people are drawn to each other kind of in every life, regardless of how kind of their dynamic is. Like
soul families.
Yes.
Yeah. The soul family. And the soul family is like, I'm sure you've experienced it. Like you have a brother and you have a friend and you feel way more like brothers with your friend than you do with your own brother or sister, or, you feel this, some people have relationships with their parents where it's almost like they're buddies.
Yeah.
But not in like a negative way, like a bad parent way, but just like they're like, that's like my best friend. And it's not like a mother-daughter thing. It's like this is like my friend. It's like I've always known, like it's weird. I don't know. And yeah, the theory is that we all stay together. Like the way I would frame it is, if we all went to a bar together, or if we all went out together, we would all make sure to go to the same bar.
Yeah.
Like if we were all going out, we'd be like, where are we going? We'd be like, we're going here. And it's like, where is it? Oh, okay, it's over here. And we'd all meet up there, right? Because we're all close, we're all friends. And there'd be other people that you would interact with when you're in the bar, but you would be drawn to that group of friends. You'd always want to be around those people.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always felt like that's something that happens in life as well. Like it's weird the way you meet people and how quickly some people just stick in your life and how quickly other people just kind of like fall away. It's very odd. Mm-hmm. Like my buddy Hank, like how I met Hank, like, there's just a party. He lived on the other side of my street forever, and then randomly I went to a party and I met him, and I was like, well, I guess I'm never going to talk to this kid again. And then he just kept calling me all the time. Like, we weren't even exactly friends, but he would just call me and be like, yo, man, we got to chill. Come outside. I'd be like, why is this guy talking to me like he knows me? I'd be like, okay, come outside. But what do you want, man? And we'd like smoke and that's it. And we're like brothers now. Mm-hmm. We're always around each other.
And he was at our wedding.
Yeah, exactly. He was like one of the only people at our wedding. Or like Mike, my buddy Mike. Like I'll think about Mike and Mike will call me. Or like I'll be feeling down and Mike will call me. Like we have this weird connection. It's very odd. And we're just like brothers. Like whenever I'm around him, it's like I'm just around family. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But I don't feel like that. Like I have brothers, like I have brothers that I don't even really see.
Yeah.
Right? Siblings that I don't even really see. And like if I'm around them, like maybe it would have to develop over time, but it's like we don't even try to be around each other. Mm-hmm. Whereas Mike will like make sure to like contact me. He'll make sure to reach out to me. Hank will make sure to reach out to. I'll make sure to reach out to them. It's a weird thing. It's a very weird thing.
Yeah, and then it also explains too, like when some people meet and you feel like you've known them forever.
Yeah.
And it's just there's that instant draw and the instant chemistry, and it's like comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Like we had that. Like I remember we were together for like a couple months, and it felt like much longer.
Yeah.
Like it felt like way longer.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
Like even now, it feels like I've known you for like my whole life.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing that happens with some people. So like I think obviously that's just a theory, obviously, but I think that happens with some people in terms of reincarnation. Like we stay around each other,
Yeah.
Like there's some people you meet and then when it comes to the soul family, it's like sometimes it's like a person you meet is like you could have been their dad.
Yeah.
Your son, and now you guys are friends.
And you still kind of have that dynamic too.
Yeah, exactly. Like you naturally revert back. It's a weird thing, and it's one of those things where it's ridiculous when people say that they know. Like no one knows. Like you're a hardcore Christian, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're a Buddhist, you have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You're never gonna know. You're only gonna know when you die. And
if then.
Yeah, exactly. If then. Because like you just might like pass and then all of a sudden you're just like in another place and you're like, hey.
Yeah.
And you don't even remember.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? But like when people act like they know, or they act like ideas and talking about stuff like this is silly. It's like you don't know. You have no idea.
Yeah, nobody knows.
And you're never gonna know. And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do, you're going to be a 4-year-old kid and you're going to forget by the time you're 6. And you're going to get back to kindergarten or whatever hell you're doing. And then you start again.
And go on with your life.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I love talking about stuff like this.
Yeah, it's always good. There's, I forget what the movie's called, but there's a Disney movie that I keep saying you should watch. I need to remember the name of it. Yes. I love that movie. It's great.
I think you said that. I think someone else said that.
Yeah. I don't know why you don't want to watch it. You never like animated movies.
Yeah.
But the whole concept is very good. And that the soul is like, it's just this little orb of energy. And it's like up in the clouds, like kind of this kind of purgatory / heaven place. And before they get to...
Purgatory / heaven? Isn't that like heaven and hell? Like,
no, it's very kind of non-feeling like peaceful zen.
Okay.
So there's not a lot going on there. And the whole point is that they're supposed to go down to earth so that they're like put into a baby and they're born, but they have to get what's called like a spark. So they have to find a spark, which is like a reason for being before they're allowed to go down. So the story follows this one little orb who can't find her spark. And it's really nice, and I think you'd like it.
Nah.
You always say that, nah.
I don't know.
I'm just going to put it on one day and watch it, and you're going to be like, ooh.
Yeah, you'd have to do that. Yeah, maybe after I smoke a cigar or something. I have to find it. I can't play it. I should have found this before. But Kevin Smith, when he's on Joe Rogan, he has a really crazy story about his mom talking about like reincarnation, not reincarnation, but talking about like afterlife. And she like explains it like you just did. She's just like, it was just like all this peace and like everything was good and like I was able to just let go of everything.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Smith was like, would you rather be here or there? She's like, there.
Oh my gosh.
Without hesitation, she's like, I'd much rather be there.
That's so crazy.
And she was just like, wow. And they were just talking about like near death. It's such a deep episode. Joe Rogan and Kevin, they both cry, but because of dogs dying.
Oh, not about the mom's near death, but dogs dying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That same story actually happened in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, of all things. She ended up dying, and then they figured out a way to bring her back, and she was so upset because she just felt so at peace.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And for like episodes long, she was like depressed and mad and everything else.
That's how it feels for some people when you come out of a salvia trip. You take a drug called salvia. Like Ari Shaffir talks about it. He's in this salvia trip, and when they woke him up, he was like this underwater creature.
Oh.
And he had friends, and he had like a wife, and like he's had like
oh wow, and they just ripped him away from that
job, everything. And then like when they pulled him out of the trip, or like when like he came out of it, it was like somebody pulled him out of the water.
Oh.
And he was just like, I want to go back. And then he was like messed up for a little while. Like,
yeah, that'd
like,
be
thinking
scary.
of that life and like what just
thinking
happened.
That's you.
And where is it now? It's gone.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Right? That's a very weird.
I was just trying to think like if somebody
right now
woke me up
and you were just
and pulled me out of this.
You're like, oh no, I was with Colin. Where's Colin?
Oh my gosh.
It'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She almost started crying.
Yeah, geez. But yeah, I have lots of other stories, including there was, I think you had a video on this one. So it was like a little boy named Ryan, and this was the 4-year-old one, and he would cry about being homesick. Yeah. And he would ask his mom to take him to the house that he had before. And he described that house as being very large with a pool and lots of fast cars. Mm-hmm. And he said, I can't live in these conditions. My last home was much better. Wow. This 4-year-old is saying this. Wow. So his mom, Cindy, brought home a bunch of books with pictures of old Hollywood, trying to comfort him and just kind of make him feel more at home, if that's what he was identifying with. And he got super excited while looking at the books, and he slapped at one of the pictures and said, that guy's me, the old me. And it turns out that this guy in the photo was a Hollywood agent named Marty Martin. And they ended up contacting Martin's daughter, who confirmed over 50 details that Ryan had given about his old life.
Wow.
So he knew everything about this guy's life.
This must have been before like Hollywood starlets were selling their souls. They just got to have their souls freely wander.
Yeah.
It's not happening anymore. No more Hollywood actor reincarnations.
No.
Most of them are going to hell.
Now they've all sold their souls.
Yeah, that's actually really funny that happened to that kid. That's kind of what somebody, again, maybe I'm a little biased, Hollywood people. That's what they deserve. That's what you deserve. You deserve to go back and remember and not have all that stuff that you did all those horrible things for.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they deserve like worse than just the average life.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's a little insulting.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it keeps going so loud. I gotta stop that. Maybe it's just you. You're being too loud.
Am I being too loud?
I'm kidding. Yeah, hold on. I think I have this video.
Yeah, you had the one about...
I do.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, and whatever. We'll get copyrighted or something.
Every father dreams of having a healthy, strong, and beautiful child. This is exactly what the Hammonds family got with the arrival of little Ryan. However, all that happiness was overshadowed when the child turned 4 years old. It was then when things began to change drastically for this peaceful Oklahoma family. This kid started having disturbing nightmares frequently. His tiresome sobs awakened his mother Cindy, who went to Ryan's bed every night with the intention of calming him and getting him to sleep. This was all in vain, as little Ryan's nightmares did not have an end. On many occasions, they could hear the child saying that he wanted to go back to Hollywood. Was this possibly a real reincarnation? Cindy took Ryan to a local library to find some clues about his supposed past life. He pointed and recognized a photograph from a 1932 film called Night After Night. George Raft starred in it, a well-known celebrity from the 30s, and by his side was an actor who Ryan looked at with surprise. His mother took him to Jim Tucker, a famous psychiatry professor at the University of Virginia. Marty Martin was the name of the actor in the photograph. During his sessions, Ryan identified a total of 55 aspects of the deceased actor's life. Dr. Tucker is skeptical about reincarnations in children, but he most certainly believes in possible paranormal origins to this phenomenon. You'd better ask your son or nephew about his past life, only to be sure.
That's very interesting to see. Because he didn't believe it was reincarnation, but it could be something paranormal, which is very true. Like, we don't actually know what it is.
Yeah.
It could just be, I don't know, imprints of some kind,
like
I don't know.
Well, they say like even in science, energy cannot be destroyed. It's only transformed into a different form. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's like one of those things, like people's energy, everybody has energy, we all have consciousness.
Yeah.
Can't be destroyed. It's just transferred into something else.
True.
So maybe the remnants of that specific energy hangs on more than it usually does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd because at the same time, like, I've been told, and people have always heard the saying, I'm sure maybe even you've been told, that like I'm an old soul. Like, I've had people tell me that all the time, and I've often felt like when I was young, I used to feel like I've been here, I've like done this stuff before. I used to often feel like that, like I've done this stuff, and this is annoying. When I was very young, I would feel like probably 6 to 10 years old, I'd be like, I've done this before. I don't like this. It was very annoying, I remember. So who knows? Like, maybe I just don't remember.
They say
or maybe we're all just connected. Like, they talk about that
true.
all the time. Maybe you're just connected, and then all of a sudden when some disruption of someone dying happens, maybe that energy goes to the rest of us.
Yeah.
And somebody gets and then somebody being born and remembers it the most. I don't know, because you have to think of it like when we have ideas. Like, when I have an idea, I know if I don't do it, someone else is going to do it.
For sure.
But it's not like someone else is going to think of it. It's like I'm giving it up. Like, if I'm just going to give it up and then it's going to go somewhere else. It's not somebody else is just going to think of it randomly. It's going to actually go to someone else who's more open to actually doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe your life is like that. I have no idea.
Well, they say too the concept of deja vu could be linked to reincarnation and energy sharing, because you feel like you've seen that exact same thing before, but it might be somebody else's memory.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. I get that sometimes. And it's like, it's so weird because it's so convincing that you've literally lived that moment.
But I feel like when that happens, I feel like whatever I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing it. That's what it feels like.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever I get it, I'm like, oh, like I'm on the right track. Like I know what's going on now. Like, okay. Like, okay, I just felt deja vu. There's something here.
That's weird.
Yeah.
For me, when I get deja vu, it's like literally the most normal of circumstances. Like I could just be driving past something.
Yeah.
And hear something on the radio, and those two things together will make me feel like I had deja vu, but it doesn't mean anything. Like it's not in some big like thing that I'm doing. It's just a very mundane thing.
Yeah, same. It's not like I'm doing anything extraordinary. It's just like that part of my life. It's like it just feels like okay, like I'm doing the right things. I don't know why. It always feels like that.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's weird stuff. All this stuff is very weird to even talk about, but like this is what we do. This is what we do on our date nights, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
we have nice talks.
Some days it's gonna be Freemasons. Some days it's gonna be pyramids.
Yeah, I still want to do the Denver airport again. I like that one.
Yeah. Let's do Denver airport, of course. I want to go through the whole conspiracy iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, and just talk about everything. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have in terms of stories and stuff?
Okay, so I have this one named Shanti, who was born in 1926, and she didn't speak until she was 4. And she began insisting that she lived with her husband and son in another town where she had died 10 days after giving birth.
Whoa.
Yeah. And she told one of her teachers that her husband's name, and the teacher sent a letter addressed to him to the town where she said she lived. The husband confirmed that his wife had died after giving birth 9 years prior. The husband traveled to meet the girl and introduced himself as his own brother, like lying to the girl. And the girl knew immediately who he was and chastised him for remarrying because he promised he never would.
Wow.
Yeah. And this claim of reincarnation was actually investigated by Mahatma Gandhi, who set up a committee of 15 people, and none could debunk the story.
Wow. That is weird.
I also didn't know that Gandhi investigated reincarnation stories. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, he did
with a committee.
He did a lot of weird things.
What a weirdo.
Slept naked with his niece,
Ew.
investigating paranormal things.
Yeah.
He's a man, changed the world a little bit.
Just a little bit.
He was a man
on the side.
Of many things. Yeah, it was like a side quest. It was a side quest. I used to do a history podcast with Gandhi and, not with Gandhi.
With Gandhi.
But on Gandhi, we did one of them. And somebody brought out the information of, like, he wanted a brown door. Back in South Africa, there was, like, a white door. There's, like, black doors that you had to go through if you were white and black. He thought there should be a brown one because he was like, brown people shouldn't have to walk through the same doors as black people.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's a little bit about Gandhi. You can go check that podcast out. It's called Pros and Conquerors. Check out the Gandhi episode. Don't shoot the messenger. It was all fact checked. It was crazy. It was a crazy episode. Crazy. But what else with reincarnation do you got?
I have another one. So a little boy named Luke would call all of his toys by the name Pam for some reason and comment that he had once been a girl with black hair. And his mom eventually asked who Pam was, and Luke said, I was. Well, I used to be, but I died and went up to heaven. I saw God, and then God pushed me back down, and when I woke up, I was a baby and you named me Luke.
Wow.
The whole story, up and down.
That's nuts.
Yeah. He gave details about living in Chicago and taking the train a lot, and then dying in a fire, and he included a hand gesture to indicate someone falling. So when Luke's mother looked into the details, she found a story about a fire in 1993 in a Chicago hotel where a girl named Pam Robinson died after jumping out a window.
Oh, yeah. We were just watching that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. Was the kid's mom, by chance, drinking Bud Light? Pregnant?
Oh, my God.
Maybe that was it. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh.
No Bud Light
Are you
involved.
sure?
Pretty sure. Well, remains to be seen.
Can you imagine the kid's name was Dylan?
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding, folks.
Yeah. And then they lost $5 billion.
Yeah. 4 billion. 4 billion in a bit. Almost 5 billion they
Okay.
lost.
I heard 5 today.
Yeah, it was probably up to 5. Makes sense. And now they're saying it was a mistake.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
We messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Yeah, shocker.
I think it was one very woke executive that just decided that she's going to do this. And because they say no one of senior authority was told about it.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm sure they knew. They're just trying to cover their own asses.
well, I'm sure they don't check in with this because she's a high. It's not like she's like a worker. She's like a high low. She's like vice president or something, or like just lower or something. Maybe something of marketing.
Yeah.
So, like all the really old white men who are like at the top of that company.
Yeah.
Because for sure that's what it is. They're like, no one told us about this.
Yeah, but there's no way like one person.
And they're probably all conservative. They're probably all very conservative.
Oh, for sure.
Just like you did what?
Old rich white men are always conservative. There's no way.
Because she was probably like, we just got this new influencer. Their name is Dylan, and they're gonna be great.
Their name.
And then they were probably just like, why'd she say they so many? Oh well, anyway, can't wait to see this Dylan guy.
Yeah. Oh no.
And then they saw and they're just like, oh my god, fire this lady.
Mm-hmm.
I would fire her.
Well, if you lose the company $5 billion, I feel like you deserve to be fired.
Yeah, you should.
Like, regardless of anything political,
yeah.
If you yourself make an action that loses that much money, you should be fired.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Like if she put out a bad ad campaign, regardless of
just any ad.
Yeah, anything.
What it is.
If it costs them to lose $5 billion, bye.
Yeah. Like you didn't think about it to that extent.
Yeah, and then you don't know your target demographic.
That too.
To the point where you are so ignorant to the people who are buying your product and their wants and concerns that means at the bare minimum, you don't know how to do your job.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because like them talking about wanting to move away from the frat type of people.
That's what they do.
But it's like that's literally like Nike being like, we just want to move away from these black guys who like to buy 10 pairs of shoes every single month. It's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
These are your people.
Yeah, you gotta like take care of your bread and butter.
Yeah, take care of them. 100%. 100%. Such an odd thing to do.
Yeah.
Such an odd thing to do. I don't know. They should have got like Bert Kreischer, like that fat comedian.
Yes. Yeah. He's their guy for sure.
100%. He would have drank 40 of them in a video challenge. He would have thrown up.
And his shirt would have been off after half.
Exactly. They probably would have started with his shirt off.
Yeah.
And he would have had liver issues and he would have done the rest of the ad campaign from a hospital.
Oh my god.
And downed one while he was on medication.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's Bert. That's what you get.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, there's another one named Barbro. So Barbro was born in Sweden in 1954.
Barbro?
Barbro.
Okay.
And from the beginning of when she could talk, she told her parents stories about Anne Frank, claiming that she was Anne Frank.
Jeez. Wait, where's she from?
Sweden.
Okay.
And she had nightmares of men kicking down the door and taking her away. And her parents didn't know at this point that Anne Frank was a real person.
What?
Because it was 1954. There weren't that many stories yet of what was going on.
Yeah, she wasn't famous.
So she was brought to Amsterdam when she was 10, and she led her parents to the house where Anne Frank had hidden and identified spots on the wall where there had been posters of movie stars while Anne was living there.
Wow. Whew. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You just want to forget that one.
Yeah, right?
Just forget quickly.
And like the poor thing has nightmares.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really weird one. Whew. Anne Frank reincarnation.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's good now. She's back. Yeah. Bright side. Yeah, you're back. You're good. You're Swedish now.
Yeah, true.
You're fine.
You're good. You're safe.
You're good and neutral.
After the war.
Yeah. Yeah, that is wild though. It's wild. It's wild to think about. Like I don't know. I still don't know. Because back to what that doctor said, something about it being paranormal. I don't know. Maybe it's that.
Yeah.
That would make, I don't want to say that would make more sense, but that also is a thing that it could be.
Yeah.
That does make some kind of sense. You know, reincarnation makes sense too, but it's like, why doesn't it happen to everybody? Maybe it's back to that whole learning thing. Like, you haven't learned enough, so you come back. You know? I don't know.
Well, that one makes me think too, like back to like energy signatures and stuff like that. Like, I wonder, like, if like emotions leave energy signatures, because all of the stories have some kind of trauma. So it's like maybe that kind of lives on and then just attaches itself to something. Yeah, something like that. Because anytime, like, people could be like, I don't believe in that at all. And you could be like, well, here's this house, 4 people were killed inside of it. They'll be like, I don't want to live there. Exactly.
Like, even if you're like not a believer, you're like, I'm not doing that.
No, exactly.
Not me, sorry. You know?
Well, even like people who visit Auschwitz and places like that say you can feel something there.
Yeah, that place. People talk about it in different plantations, and when you go up to like Georgia, Atlanta, like all those places, people talk about it in Ghana, because apparently a lot of black people were taken from Ghana, or a lot of Africans were taken from Ghana before they went over to the South, you know, those same places. They say they can feel that, and honestly, you know, I'm sure even everybody has an experience of, you know, 2 of your friends just had a fight, or your parents or somebody, and you walk into the room and you're just like, what's up?
Yeah.
What's wrong with everybody in here?
Yeah, for sure.
We can feel stuff. Definitely.
I think I told you about that. There was a day at work and I walked in, and I'm always in a good mood. Like, I'm a happy person. So I walked in there and there was like one girl, and she was behind me. And I just like could feel like, I don't know, something was weird. So I was like, why am I feeling anxious all of a sudden? And then I turn around and this girl's looking at me. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because she was having like extreme anxiety about like her university and school and life and everything else. And I just literally like felt it. It was like thick in the air. Like, as soon as I walked in, it was so strange. But energy signatures are real. You can feel like emotions coming off people. So even if they're not there, it still stays.
That does sound like a lady moment. Doesn't it sound like a lady moment?
Well,
she was like, I'm so sorry.
She knew immediately. I turned around and I could see it in her face.
And she's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then you guys like cracked open some pumpkin spice lattes, smashed them together.
And it was a great time.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I don't know, maybe women are more open to receiving that kind of energy.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Have you never felt that from people?
Yeah, no, I have. But it's
and then you have pumpkin spice lattes?
It's never
acknowledged?
It's never like I turn around and the guy goes, oh my God, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm just really nervous right now. And I go, oh my God, I can feel it. Like, we don't do that.
True. Fair.
But, you know, you can tell if somebody's upset, definitely.
Yeah.
You can just talk to them and see that they're a little off.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy. But what else? What else you got?
Well, that's pretty much it. Well, I had the little, like, things how you know you've lived a past life, and Deja Vu was one of those.
That's right. This is my wife, and if she wants to do a quiz,
I like quizzes.
Like a quiz from Cosmopolitan magazine, we will do a quiz.
Yes.
What are you gonna ask me?
Do you have persistent memories?
Do I have persistent memories?
Yeah, like feelings of being born in the wrong time, intuitive feelings about places or times.
Yeah, I used to. Definitely. I used to always think that. I just couldn't put a finger on it.
Interesting. And we talked about Deja Vu already, so that's both yeses for you. And then unreasonable fears. Like, there was once a woman who feared death when looking at the sky. And then through hypnotherapy, a past memory was brought out of her being sentenced to hang and looking up at the sky before the hood was put over her head.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you have unreasonable fears too?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, all the time.
And then the next one is, do you have strange pains?
Strange pains?
Yes.
Not really.
Like, do you have any body parts or joints that are like achy for no reason? You've had no past injuries?
As you get closer to 40, it's that kind of stuff. No, I don't think so. Heart, maybe.
Oh.
But I don't have pain in it. But like, I'm always wary of it. Like, even though I'm super healthy and I'm super active, I'm always like, gotta take care of your heart.
Yeah.
Like, I always have a feeling like you should take care of your
Like in the back of your head, you're like, gotta take care of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you identify with another culture?
Yes, definitely. Well, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. Because like, I'm black, but I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I was into, like, Buddhist stuff. You know, I got into, like, meditation and stuff. So I've never been super exposed to black culture, per se. Like, obviously, my family and my close friends and stuff like that. But never, you know, like, I haven't been immersed in black culture ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, it's never happened. I've been immersed in, like, Jewish culture. Like, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Immersed in, like, Buddhist culture. Learned a lot. Nothing about sucking people's tongues.
Ew.
There's none of that in what I learned. Because I just had a lot of people giving me a lot of shit about posting this video about the Dalai Lama.
Huh.
But I'm just like,
Oof.
It was gross.
Oof, creepy.
Gross. I'd uppercut anybody that tried to do that to my kid.
No, absolutely not. That's insane. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, no.
No.
Terrible. It's a sign of love.
No.
Because I was telling somebody the other day, I'm like, you know, there's Greek men way back used to have relationships with young boys. And that was normal. We're not bringing that back.
No.
You couldn't do that and be like, no, this is in our culture. You're going to jail.
No. If it's something you don't feel comfortable doing to your own kid, a stranger should never be doing it, ever. Mm-hmm. I don't care what it is, period, point blank.
Yeah, 100%. It's weird. But,
it's not really a gray line.
Yeah. Right? But yeah. In terms of another culture, I guess, yeah. I would say yes. And I've been told, some viewers may not like this, but I've been told by a lot of Jewish people, they're like, you seem Jewish. Like, anytime, like, I talk to somebody who's Jewish for a long time, they're like, you seem like you're Jewish.
Yeah. Well, you grew up in a Jewish community, so.
Yeah, but it's like, do I talk like, I don't talk like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like, hey, what's going on? How are you?
Oh,
guys?
my gosh.
Like, you seem like a Jewish guy. I have no idea what it is. I've had so many people say that.
Yeah.
I've had so many people. One guy told me, he's like, you have a Jewish soul.
What does that even mean?
It's because I was like so good to him. And I was like,
oh,
I can't just
like
have a
from
black
his
soul.
mind, it's a compliment.
Yeah, like,
but it's actually racist.
He's like, you can't be black on the inside. He's like, no, sir, not someone like you. You're a good man. You must have a Jewish soul.
That's horrible.
He's like, I'm sorry for how things turned out for you.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
like, but your soul.
But your soul is good.
But yeah.
And the last one is that you have recurring dreams.
Of the same dream?
Yeah.
No, I've told you my dreams. My dreams are ridiculous.
Yes.
My dreams are out
You
of
have crazy
control.
dreams all the time.
Yeah. My dreams are stupid silly.
The only recurring dream I ever had that I remember, like, as a child, I would have a lot, was we lived in a house that was like had a garden, like secret garden with like mazes and stuff. I just remember like running around.
That's a thing. That's definitely a thing.
I'll look it up.
Look, this dream. There's a mini version of Elon Musk in a little car. I was protecting him, and I'll be
Mini
sure,
Musk.
or some big-haired comedian was trying to get after us, and I had to get through a door so I could make Elon Musk big. Just, that was a dream. That was a legit dream I had.
Yeah.
My
I
dreams
feel
are
like
ridiculous.
at least twice a week, you wake up and tell me your crazy dreams.
Yeah, I have weird dreams.
And then if I say anything, you're like, no, stop. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, you gotta remember. You should remember your dreams. I think dreams are way more essential than reincarnation, and like worrying about that. Your dreams are like, you need to know what your dreams are.
Yeah.
You have to remember them and like write them down, and yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, you've always had dream journals.
Yeah. It's very important. Very important. It has to be. You're asleep like a third of your life.
True.
You know, it's wild. But so what does that mean? What's the quiz? I win?
I don't know if that means you win, but it means that you may have been reincarnated.
That makes sense. Somebody in the comments said I'm an earth angel.
What does that mean?
It's an angel sent to earth.
Oh.
To help people.
Oh, that's nice. You help me.
Yeah, right. I help people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a coach.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I remember back in the day when I first started this channel, people would be like, "What are you a coach of, bro?" Whatever, man. I remember one time I was sitting down to actually have a coaching session, and then I looked at someone's comment. They're like, "You're not a real coach."
And you're like, "Okay."
Fine.
As you're getting paid to coach.
I was like, fine, whatever, man.
Yeah. That's funny.
So funny, but yeah. What about you? You answer the questions now.
No, I'm not reincarnated. We've done this before.
You don't get any?
No, I don't identify with most of these things.
No?
I get deja vu sometimes, but I don't really have like persistent memories. I guess I kind of have unreasonable fears. Mm-hmm. I really don't like heights.
Yeah, what else? But a lot of people don't like heights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really have strange pains either. Mm-hmm. Like my pains can be attributed to injuries.
Yeah.
I don't identify with another culture.
No.
I'm Canadian. Yeah. I don't really have anything other than that.
Okay.
No, and I told you my one reoccurring dream.
Yeah, you do seem kind of new.
I'm new.
You seem new.
I'm a new baby person.
Like, I know, like, we're different in age. We're, like, 8 years apart. But, like, you seem very new a lot of the time, like, with a lot of things.
People still call me wise, though.
I'm like, why don't you know this? I'm like, why don't you know this thing?
True.
Like, I always feel like you should know things.
But then your coach said that I'm very wise.
Yeah, right? So, I don't know. And I feel like I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
As if we were this soul family type people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have no idea. You know, it's funny. You know, you always hear about people, like, mistakenly having... You don't always hear it, but... You hear it sometimes. People mistakenly having kids with, like, their cousins. Like, what if we're soul cousins? Oh,
ew.
Find out after. You have a bunch of kids, and you're like, we're soul cousins? Oh,
that's weird.
We come from the Alabama part of heaven. That's how it is.
Sorry, Alabama.
But is that all you got?
Yeah, that was all my stories.
All right. Well, that's all we got for today, guys. We're going to do another episode. What's the next episode going to be? Let's say it now.
Oh, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want to do... Did we ever write down anything on Freemasons?
No.
We got to, like, write some stuff on either ancient Egypt or Freemasons.
Okay.
I want to do, like, something around there. Or like, something.
All
Something
right.
cool.
Let's do a cool thing.
That's, like, conspiracy-esque, you know?
But still real.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Or maybe we just do Project Northwoods. Oh, you know about that? Yo, you think you know about that? Oh, my gosh. She found some information on Operation Northwoods. Mm-hmm. That was the one, right? The wild one with the general?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
A crazy general.
All right, guys. That's been it. Like and subscribe. And, you know, have a good time. You know, I hope if you guys ever have, you know, significant others, watch this with them. Sit down and just watch this. And when we say certain things, pause it, talk amongst yourselves, act like you're in a conversation with us. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Date night conspiracy. Date night. See, this is what it was originally called. Date night conspiracy. I think date night news, but I think we should just call it the new Mulder and Scully hour. That's what we should call it, and we should just do that until we get sued.
Oh my gosh.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Those people are like 60 now. We're the new Mulder and Scully. Hey, new Mulder and Scully podcast. We're out of here.